The work hardening protocol for denser muscle. Pumping iron and building muscle is a simple process, but many people aren't aware that their muscles aren't dense. If your muscles aren't dense, then you're more likely to experience a plateau or even injure yourself. And trust me, injuries aren't fun to deal with. You can become like me, fracture your finger, and be forced to only do legs and cardio for 3 months. There's a reason engineers perform work hardening on metals to make them denser. Here's my view on this. Final year mechanical engineering, 4.0 GPA. I also went from 120 pounds of skinny fat to 160 pounds of muscle, not by finding the perfect program, but by treating my body like a system I could actually engineer. Same thinking, different domain. If that makes sense to you, we're gonna get along just fine. As you work out consistently, you will start loading up fatigue and internal stresses inside of your muscles and your body. To get bigger muscles, we have to progressively overload, which is increasing the rate, the weight, the reps, or the intensity over time. Eventually, progressive overload will take a toll on your body. It's exactly what you need to do. There's no getting around it. You have to progressively overload, but it does naturally just build up internal stresses and fatigue. And over time, if you don't do anything about this, it will lead to low energy and lower strength, both of which are not fun. And these two will lead to you going towards the fracture point on your physique. You right now probably have a lot of internal stresses built up within your body without you realizing it. In manufacturing, metals have to meet certain performance requirements. Depending on the application, if there's too much internal stresses built up inside the metal, they're not going to perform and they're likely to fail. That's you right now. You want to build a certain physique. You have certain performance requirements in your bodybuilding journey, and you probably have too many internal stresses built up in your body. This means you're not going to perform and you're likely to fail. And it's exactly what it sounds like. The fix isn't adding more volume or increasing the intensity. It's hardening your muscles so that your muscles become dense and infallible. To grow bigger muscles in the long run, sometimes it isn't about adding more volume or going psycho mode during a lift. Use your foot off the throttle and recover properly. Before I map this directly onto your training, if you want me to do this exact analysis on your program, I do one-on-one coaching calls. Top link in the description. It takes 2 minutes to book, and for now, it's absolutely free. Relieving internal stresses depends on two factors: temperature and time. The first way you can relieve internal stresses in your body is to anneal your physique. I've already made a video on what annealing is, so if you want a more in-depth explanation on what it is, go watch the video. But for the sake of this video, I'm just going to tell you really quickly what it is. Annealing is where you increase the temperature, hold it constant for some time so that the stress can dissipate, and then slowly reduce the temperature. This is the sauna. In the sauna, you go in there, your body temperature increases, your internal stresses in your body go away, they dissipate, and then you slowly reduce the temperature by just walking outside of the sauna. And the second way is stress relaxation. This is stress dissipating over time just naturally. It is way slower, much slower than annealing, but it is very effective. This, for example, in the gym is deload weeks. There are two ways to do deload weeks: the typical method, and then there's my method, the engineer's method. The typical method is cutting back on training volume and intensity. So for the deload week, you still go to the gym, you still hit chest, you still back, you still legs. Don't skip legs, even during your deload week, but you do less reps, you do less volume and less intensity. And then there's my method, where in the deload week, you don't lift weights at all. You fully focus on recovery. So in the time that you just gained by not going to the gym for the week, stretch your muscles. So let's say your chest is super sore and just feels like it needs to stretch. Go search up a video. Just literally search up chest stretching video technique, whatever, and just follow that. That's probably the best thing to do. Or you can do my caveman method. If, oh, my chest feels like it needs to stretch, let me just let me just keep moving around until it feels good. And that still works. And also in the week, go anneal your body. Go to the sauna, anneal your physique. The reason I don't like the typical deload week method is because it just feels awkward. Why not just go all in on recovery instead of trying to recover and get big at the same time? And just a reminder, only use deload weeks when necessary. Don't just go doing them every other week. You don't need it that often. Only do it whenever you really feel just weak and tired. Like you just feel like there's so much internal stresses built up in your body. If you feel that way, then it likely is built up in your body. Take a deload week, take a step back, ease your foot off the throttle. Fully focus on recovery. Oh, I don't want to skip the gym. Won't this delay my gains? Won't I get less gains because of this? Not exactly. It's just a week. 1 week away from the gym isn't going to like disintegrate all of your muscles. Your muscles will still mostly be there. Sure, your strength might go down just a smidge, but that's okay because you're still doing something productive. You are focusing on recovery, which is needed for you. If fatigue is left unchecked, it will lead to a plateau. Or worse, it'll lead to an injury. If you feel like you have stress and fatigue building up in your body, anneal your physique and use the stress relaxation method. Drop a comment below on what you're going to do to relieve the internal stresses in your body. You know what to do. Get up and get after it.